Ron Henderson here. I want to talk to you today about 6 steps that I believe will help your interactions when it comes to a traffic stop. 6 steps that I believe will help you. I hope you're paying attention. I believe that these steps can help you from maybe getting in a situation where you find yourself possibly getting arrested, possibly detained. So you want to, if you're stopped by the police, you want to make sure that experience that you have is the best experience that you can have. And if you can have a good experience with a police officer, trust me, you want to have it. The first key is keep your hands visible. Keep them on the steering wheel. Keep them in a good place. Keep them there. Now, you hear people say that, but you have all these people that are constantly moving around. Perfect example, the football player Tyreek Hill that got pulled over. Hands were going a whole host of places. Then he did a few things that I believe that he shouldn't have done, right? I don't believe anybody should do that. So keep your hands in a good spot at all times where they're visible, fully visible for the police officers. And by the way, my friends, you can't do that if you have your window shut. So that's the first step. That's step number 1. Keep your hands visible, all right? Now, keep your ID in a place where you can reach for it, where they can see where you're reaching. So if you're going under the seat or you're going in the glove compartment, let's be honest, they don't know if you got a gun or something. So keep it up in a visor, something like this, so you can reach up in your visor and you can grab whatever ID that you have. You can grab it, you can show it to the police officer, then you can put it back. You show it to them, your hands go back on the steering wheel. All right, my friends, I hope this has served you well. That's one of the keys. The second key is you have to know how to talk to these officers. So what I tell people, quite honestly, when an officer pulls you over, look at that officer as though they're your grandmother, your grandfather. How would you talk to them? You'd say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You'd be polite. No matter what they said to you, at all times you would be polite. So when you look at the officer, when you're addressing the officer, talk respectfully. And it doesn't matter how they're talking to you, but at all times you talk respectfully to them so that you can live to speak another day, so to speak, right? So be respectful. Keep your hands on the wheel. That is key number 2. Be respectful with your mouth. I don't care where you think you have to go. I don't care how busy you think you are, my friends. Be respectful. Treat them the way you'd want to be treated. That's why I go back and I say, look at that officer as though he's your grandpa, or your nana, whatever you want to call it, right? Your grandpa, your nana, your grandma. Respect them with what you say. All right, friends, I hope this has served you well. See you next time with key number 3. The 6 keys to help you in your interaction with law enforcement officers. Comply. Number 3, comply. Whatever they ask for, my friends, comply. Don't hesitate, just comply. Now, it's really good to know the laws in your state as a driver. But regardless of it, even if you know you're in your right? Comply. If they ask you for your license, give it to them. See, you never know when an officer is having a bad day. One of my things that I teach is stress elimination. I teach people how to make sure that every day is a great day for you. But let's say they haven't been through the course, right? And they're up and down or they're moody. If you're not complying with them, you're giving them an excuse to go off on you. That's right, my friends, to go off on you. You know why? Officers not perfect. None of us are perfect. We're all a work in progress. But if you can comply with them, then you're giving them no room for anything. So comply. Regardless of what they ask you, comply, comply, comply. You look at most incidents that have happened that I've seen, even in Minnesota. If the person that was pulled over by the police would have just complied to the request, some of those people would still be alive today. So comply. All right, friends, welcome back to episode 4. You want to speak softly, and you don't want to have any of these quick movements. Nothing quick. See, an officer never knows if you just robbed a bank. They don't know who you are. So no quick movements. You want to be very methodical about your movements. You want to be soft in how you're speaking. Even if you feel like you're irritated or you have somewhere that you need to go to, you want to talk softly to that police officer. Don't give them an excuse to go off on you in any fashion. Don't give them an excuse to arrest you or to do anything in any fashion whatsoever. You just want to make sure that what you're doing is the right thing and that you can be effective with whatever it is you're doing with that person. So speak softly and comply. Gang, on that note, I hope this served you well. Listen more than you talk. Trust me on that one, my friends. Listen more than you talk. Now, you notice the whole time we're talking, I always have my hands on the wheel. But listen more than you talk. When you listen, you're able to hear what the officer's telling you what to do. And these people are used to giving instructions, right? They want you to follow them. And the things that will help you is when you put all the keys that you learned from me together. You got to look at that officer as though he's your grandpa, as your dad. You're going to move slowly. You're going to be methodical about your movements. You're going to be respectful of him. No matter how he treats you, you're going to be respectful of them. And you're going to listen so that when he does tell you to do something, you can actually do exactly what he's telling you to do. So at all times, you're going to be fully complying with the officer's desires. My friends, that's going to make a big difference in you having a peaceful life and having you be able to actually leave that traffic stop and not feeling all stressed out. Let's face it, when you pull over by the police officers, most of us find ourselves getting stressed out. Just seeing the sirens, we're thinking, what have we done wrong? But if we comply and do all the things that I've suggested, that's going to make for a better interaction. Final thing that I want to say with the 6 keys to having a better interaction with police officers is this. Let's face it, it's always good to have your best friend there. When you videotape a police officer, he knows you can do it. But a lot of officers, listen to me when I say this, a lot of officers get upset about it. So they're going to treat you a certain way because they're irritated with the fact that you're videotaping them, even though you have a right to do so. So what I tell people is, don't put the video camera in their face. Turn on your video recorder, then you can put it down in the car seat, have the volume up, have it up high so that you can record the whole conversation. Be respectful to the whole interaction. The next day, if you feel that you have a legal right to file a complaint, go down and file a complaint with the police department. All right? Now you have your video recording and you've conducted yourself the way you should, like a gentlewoman or a gentleman. But don't give anybody an excuse to go off on you. And I have to say this, remember this, a lot of officers are dealing with a lot of stuff and they're supposed to be trained, right? Not to bring that baggage from one scene of the crime into a traffic stop or whatever it is. But a lot of these guys haven't been trained in self-de-escalation. They don't know how to actually de-escalate themselves so that they're not stressed out. So those are the kind of people that you're dealing with. And what does that mean? Friends, that means you're dealing with everyday people because most people are like that. So what you need to do is make sure that you're in check yourself. Are you listening to me? Make sure that you become the best version of yourself. So that way, if you ever pulled over in a traffic stop, you can behave accordingly. My friends, on that note, I hope this has served you well. I hope you've learned something about this. When I was young, I used to get stopped all the time. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of times I didn't act appropriately. I wish I would have known the things that I know right now. But my friends, I didn't. That's the past. This is the future. I'm trying to help you. Stay blessed. Thanks for watching. Share, like it. And I'm going to say one thing about Mr. Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill should have complied, first of all. And the officer needs to go through de-escalation training because the officer showed what they consider the John Wayne syndrome. He had to show how tough he was. He didn't de-escalate anything. He escalated matters. But I have to say this. If Tyreek Hill would have complied, we wouldn't have the officer going off the way he did. Officer needs training. Tyreek Hill needs some training, my friends. All right, on that note, stay fit, stay blessed. And I'll end with this. We are all a work in progress. Let's all work on ourselves. Let's love everybody, my friends. Take care. See you next time.